जीएल का मैच चल रहा है ये तो देख। हेलो 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 सब ठीक होना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से। एप्लीकेशन ऑडियो कैप्चर सब ओके है। हेलो 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 इधर विंडो कैप्चर का होता है। विंडो कैप्चर ऑन। लेट्स गो। स्टार्ट हो गया हमारा। चलो आ जाओ। एक बार फोन में खोल लेता हूँ जी वर्सेस MIBR। एक ही मैच करेंगे हम लोग स्ट्रीम। देखते हैं कौन जीतता है आज। काफी अच्छा मैच है। जी 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 सपोर्टर हूं मैं तो खैर। जी सपोर्टर आ गया है। बैटमैन फेड पे है। हावी वुमन जेट वाइस रेस। कौन तो ये लोग वही खेल रहे हैं। फ्रॉस्ट वाई वाली। प्लेटून के आने से क्या बदला है इन लोगों ने। आसपास आइसो खेल रहा है। आह, मजा आएगा मजा आएगा मजा आएगा। कोई अगर आएगा स्ट्रीम पे तो मेरे को बता ना। वॉइस क्वालिटी कैसी है। वॉइस क्वालिटी कैसी है वॉइस क्वालिटी। भाई MIBR वाले से मजे ले रहे हैं। खतरनाक हरकतें कर रही है MIBR। कॉम्प देखो तुम बस। क्या है ये। रेना। आइसो। हार्बर। डेडलॉक। ये दो क्यों दिख रहे हैं रीना। एक तो इनका प्रोडक्शन भाई। इसको गायब कर देता हूँ। नहीं तो मैच नहीं चालू करते। अभी मैच चालू करते तो 2 मैच में खत्म हो गई। वरना मेरे को तो हद 7 बजे जाना पड़ेगा। जिम जाऊंगा 7 बजे। 6 7। मेरे को माइक का आवाज रुको मैं खुद ही सुन लेता हूँ कौन सा कोई। गेम की आवाज नहीं आ रही होगी। तो मैं आइसो खेलना। गेम की आवाज नहीं आ रही है स्ट्रीम पे। बंद कर रखा है क्या मैंने एप्लीकेशन ऑडियो कैप्शन। लगा नहीं है।
Faces. Come on, the
अब आ
vibes are
रही
here.
होगी आवाज।
Stuffed animals, breeds red strips.
You and these stuffed animals,
My
man.
boys are
आ
live.
रही होगी आ रही होगी अब आ रही होगी अब सब ठीक है।
I'm not really a fan of it.
Not really profiling, just
बंद कर
observing.
रखा है
You know,
एप्लीकेशन ऑडियो
it's one of my strengths.
Yeah.
I can really scout out talent and win matches already, and this one is nowhere ready. So I think we could be going to an ad soon, and when the match is ready to kick off, we could be diving in deeper. Production, go ahead and
आ रही होगी
clarify
अब आ
that.
रही होगी।
In the
तो नहीं
meantime,
हो
Koski, I'm
सकते
going to
इन
keep
लोग इतना
asking questions.
मैं
I do love
मैं
that.
इसलिए आया इस बार जल्दी कि
A strong, like, I love watching
बार आया
snipers.
कि मैं
They're
सोचा
the flashiest
देख
thing. If you
लेता
hit a
हूँ, start
headshot,
होने
it's
वाला है
nearly an
मैच।
insta kill almost all
देख के
games.
जिम जाऊंगा वरना
Who
जिम निकल
is
जाता।
the star sniper on both sides, and are there multiples that could pull it out? Because Ethan, for example,
अब अगर
pulled out a big Marshall at times, collecting
जा नहीं पाऊंगा।
enormous rounds on the eco.
I mean, Aspas is just a star op player. For GE, they've got a couple of players who can use it, honestly, but probably Autumn is going to be the player you're going to see using it most.
And then when am I going to the Outlaw? When am I going with the Operator? Talk me through like how I spend my economy throughout this
Outlaw,
series.
anti-eco, or if you think the other team is light on cash, like if the rounds have been close, you know their economy's struggling, you're going to go for an Outlaw. You will see probably both of these teams have used the Outlaw. I've seen Aspas do it, I've seen GE do it, I've seen Autumn pick it up. So that's when you're going to pick that up. Operator, yeah, Zekin, that's true. Operator in any other circumstance, you know, when you want to mix it in for a gun round.
I have a question for you.
Hit me.
Who on
Start कर दो।
based on the agents?
Yeah.
Who's gonna opt, the Reina or the ISO?
I am
Or the
questioning,
Neither.
I'm
The
questioning
deadlock.
whether that's the comp we're going to see when we get in the server, because we are resetting the lobby
गलत
as
time
far
पे
as
आ
I
गया
know.
क्या?
Yeah.
So they may have.
I've got news.
Yeah.
Ignore what
Yeah.
we've seen in the past. The Harbor Wave could still be in the game. He could be removed. We're going to find out as only time will tell. We've got a whole bunch of new awesome graphics being loaded in across the board here. If you guys could see what we see, we are in the middle of a massive expo center downtown Paris, France, and they are building all around us. Stages are going up. We've got video walls growing, and our players are still filing in. We've got MBLL still going on, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, excuse me, and of course, this game, Valorant, going on in week 0. Agent Select is ready. Let's dive into it and find out who our players actually want to play on our first map. Athena,
चलो,
remind me,
अब
what
आया
is map
ढंग का
number
कौन।
1? Where are we
Map
playing and
number
what
one
fits well?
आसपास
Is Lotus, and I
वेले
think both of these agent
उल्टोटान
selects
उनका तो सेम ही
make
है
a
बट
little
आसपास
bit
का
of sense. I'm
वेले
a little bit
Zekan
scared
रेस पे
for the side
Zekan
of
रेस खेल
MIBR
रहा है
because
मजा
that
आएगा
Waylay hasn't really found that much success recently. It's kind of crazy that the Americas teams, we saw NRG picking that up on the Fracture and kind of struggling to find success. But I think when I'm looking at Aspas, I really like him on the Jet, and I'm a little bit worried that that first double duelist pick is going to be scary.
Yeah, I think for MIBR, this is a
नहीं वो
departure
पहले
from
मैच
the
में
comp
पता
they
लग
were playing
जाएगा
just
कौन
previously
जीतने
in the
वाला है
qualifiers, but
अगर
only
जी ने
by a little
फाइट
bit. I think
की
the Waylay
अच्छी
is the
खासी
singular focus to that. For GE,
एक राउंड
as
एक
I
भी अगर
mentioned
निकाला
before, they
पहला
played
मैप
3
निकाल
days
लिया
of
तो हो
Lotus in
सकता
the
है
last
जीत
couple
जीत
of months.
जाए
They played 3
और अगर
different
पहला ही
comps, and
बहुत
this
गंदा
is
हारे तो हम 2
nothing
मैच में निकल
surprising
लेंगे
to
2
see
मैच
them
देखते हैं अगर
lean
जीत भी
into
गई
yet
जीत होगी
another different
हम
comp.
चटक
Once
लेंगे
again, though, running the double
लेकिन
duelist, just a little bit of a different
ALGS
flavor. Honestly, I think
पूरा
what
होगा
MIBR
यहाँ
are
पे
running, though, the Waylay is
पूरा
going to be
ALGS
fantastic against the Vice.
पहले
It's
मैच
so
से
easy to be
आखिरी
able to
मैच
make
Yeah.
some of those
हम
setups and then
ALGS
just
पूरा
refract
देखने
out.
वाले हैं
Really helps
हम
you work the map
फ्री
here on
फायर
Lotus.
पूरा देखने
Yeah,
वाले हैं
that's very true. I think the way that they play it is
PUBG पूरा
really
देखने
important
वाले
here, and I
हैं
hope they
और
have
शायद
some
से हम
antis
लोग
because their Neon
Tekken के
has
मैचेस
been
भी
really
देखेंगे
good. And immediately right off the bat,
और
we're
हाँ
going to see
ट्रैकमेनिया
aggro
आखिरी
play
वीक
with these
ट्रैकमेनिया
duelists.
पूरा
The
का
race
पूरा
days coming in and GE just
इस
speeding up.
चैनल पे
Getting ready for the
सब्सक्राइब
dash
कर
on
दो
in. Paint Shell's going to slow down the offense for GE just for a moment, but the double dive on
सब्सक्राइब
in
कर
is
दो
finding some impact. Aspas from the backside of the site, cleaned up by Udatan.
लोटस है
Nurmo,
पहला तो फिर
as
जी
well as
हार
the
रही
rest
है
of MIBR trying to force their way through waterfall, but it's not the clean execution that they're really looking for.
वो जावी
The smoke goes the way of
कल
Harvey.
कल वाली स्ट्रीम पे
GE
फंजी की
get
बात हो रही थी कि
themselves
फंजी को
player
पिक नहीं
advantage,
करता
pushing
जावी मारे जा
outside.
रहा है 2
The
मार दिए
IGL
हावी
of GE really starting to warm up.
हावी
On the
2
other
ले
side
गया
of
बे
things, it's Ferno for
फंजी से
MIBR that has to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, GE starting really
Autumn ने भी एक
explosive, just
निकाला
going, contesting that fight and making sure they're
देखते
able to
उड़ान का
push
शॉट
up
लगता है
Udotan. Gonna
नाइस
get the
शॉट
sheriff kill onto Verno. But yes, a pistol
आज
going
अपने
the way
लौंडे नहीं आए
of
स्ट्रीम देखने बताओ
global esports.
बताओ
I think
अपने बंदे स्ट्रीम
for
में देख रहे
MIBR here,
दुख
I
है
mean, taking that peak is one thing, but
रुक
not
इसको
having a
मैं बंद कर
fallback
देता
plan
हूँ
is a little bit
वरना फिर
scary. That pistol just trying to
इंटरनेट
scout,
नहीं
get some information, I'm assuming, and they weren't expecting the whole pack of GE to be there.
I mean, honestly, you wouldn't
वैसे
have had it any other way
सी
if you're
कर नहीं पाती
MIBR. If you're
एग्जीक्यूट
playing double
कुछ
C
तो
mount
ठीक
with
किया है
Zekin and
इन्होंने
Aspas on
या फिर
double duelist
पिछले
and the
राउंड था
other
ये
team
भी बोल
runs
सकते
into you, you can't really complain, honestly. So GE are going to be quite happy about how that round went.
ये
Going to the
बुल्ले
anti-eco. Haven't fully committed to this buy. Autumn and Zavi with a little bit of extra cash in the back
तो ये
pocket.
MIBR से ML हो
Number
गई
6
ना
nade over
MIBR
on
लॉस
the A side of the map.
बड़ी
Aspas
दिक्कत है
getting active, activating
Oh,
that
yeah.
refract, and does at least take a chunk out of Patman. He's the only player to really invest anything in this round for MIBR.
This is the type of round that Puckett would have loved to see. Two
Light by
scope
गया Autumn
weapons
भी
online for both these teams, but grouping up towards this A
एक
side here, we have Navi actually just
Mazino
sitting
को निकाल
outside
सकता है
of that
Atom.
C mound, tapping on that door, putting some
अगर try
pressure,
करेगा
using
तो.
the Prowler to clear that door, and it's actually going to pull 3 of these players on MIBR into this site. They do have a chance to re-clear, but anything that they do right now might be just a little bit too late because GE, they're already all over on the side of C about to
Varno
execute.
अकेला रहेगा
Yeah,
तो
don't
फिर
mind if MIBR
execute हो
just
जाएगा
stacking
फिर
up
से
where the
क्योंकि
pressure
guns नहीं
is,
है and
but
then Varno
GE
के पास
are giving
केवल
them the runaround right now. Straight up on into the C
Classic.
site. No
Easy है फिर उनके लिए.
opposition there from MIBR. Just looking to group up on spawn side and see if they can get some damage done with these pistols.
Pitmian. Sniper
Pushing
Pitmian.
towards the spawn
आगे
here.
गया तो मरेगा बहुत
Kind
जिंदा
of
मरेगा.
scary with this Phantom. Gets
गया
paranoid and gets
down.
treated instantly. Verno gets the pick
Gun मिल गई है
onto
बिल्कुल.
Autumn. Now all these players falling back on GE,
Pani,
trying to play a
pani,
safe
pani,
post plan. That's a Phantom, a Spectre in the hands of Zekin actually. And they're holding it on and they're trying to do this flood retake, but Patman shutting it down. Aspas with their trade back
आसपास
onto
भाई
it
3
now,
शॉट
just
मार
flooding
चुका
in
है.
Zekin
ओह
and
जी
Mazino
हार गई
getting
लग रहा है.
picked. Man, they should not have
वाह
pushed
जी.
into spawn there. That
Classic
was
जी.
not a good idea against pistols.
Yeah, Pistol just trying to pick up the pieces
बढ़िया
at the
निकाला
end of
बे
things, but
आसपास
that
में.
is a very
तीन
bitter
शॉट लिए
defeat
पहले
for
बैटमैन को
GE,
लो किया देन
unfortunately. Echoed
उसको
by
मारा उसको भी लो
naught
किया
but 4 classics and a singular marshal in the hands of
Autumn को
Aspas.
लो
That is
किया,
not how you want your
Batman को लो
anti-eco
किया,
to be
and then एक
going.
को मारा
And
उसने.
already MIBR a
Nice one.
massive boon for them at the start of this Lotus game after conceding the pistol.
Yeah, it feels like we're seeing MIBR just moving as a pack in that last round, and it really rewarded them. We were talking about how the timing might not be there, but it doesn't matter. And now we're looking at the side of GE. 2 pistols, Sheriff and a Bandit, but we have 3 rifles to kind of work with. But it's going to be a little bit harder going for this A lobby take. The Raze Boomba is actually going to go in. They're going to see that there is someone there, knowing that the pressure is there. Aspas is pushed all the way up, using his refractor just in the nick of time because he was 1 second away from losing that fallback.
Door open by Udatan. Little bit of an investment in this round for GE as the Prowler confirms that GE are indeed inside of tree. Nade for second. Will zone the attackers away for now. And that's a beautiful C's combo to take out Autumn. GE not happy with how that looks or feels, but Crystal is activating in the middle of the map. Aspas is dropped, and this gives some concern over to MIBR. Mazino through the backside of that door, though, does at least give them the man advantage, and he's not done. Looking to push a little bit more here.
Getting a lot of information, pushing this A-line, but
nice
Tex getting the pick
shot,
onto
timing
Crystal.
also
Now that plan B has
पाँच
fallen
की
apart.
watching
GE
अचानक
gonna
से
try to
क्या
contact
बात
up
है?
here. They're not going to clear Rebel just yet.
ये
Spotted,
कल
but
तो
gets
हमारी
the
नहीं आ
pick.
पाई थी लेकिन आज आ गई पाँच की watching. Let's go.
1v4, but now 1v3. Patman with a beautiful sheriff shot onto Mazino, and all 3 of these players
किसी
from
group
MIBR
पे डाला
are
क्या
already
इसको
on the
किसी
safe
ने?
side.
Patman looking locked
पाँच
in.
की watching
He is
कैसे आ
a
रही
big
है?
game player for GE, but this is a triple high-low on stairs side that he's about to
Let's go.
walk
नहीं
into.
chat नहीं कर
Not
रहा
even
कोई.
the best of
कैसी
players
watching है ये?
can be dealing with that.
Oh,
All dealt with by
चली गई.
MIBR, confirming that there is
पता नहीं
someone
कैसे आ
on
गई
stairs
थी.
side, and that is just not
पाँच
the
की
angle
watching
Patman
दिख
was
रही थी
looking
मेरे
for.
को.
Second round for MIBR
मेरा
here,
कुछ
and
हो गया
GE looking to go into their gun round after the upset on the eco.
I love to see the vibes from MIBR, knowing that they're just kind of playing
मैं
their
वो
game, making sure
पाँच की
they're taking
watching
a
में
lot
मेरे
of these
को
peaks. I mean,
chat नहीं
Mazino
आ रही
just
तो
re-walking up
मतलब नहीं है
instantly.
कुछ पाँच
You
की
can
watching पता
tell
नहीं कैसे आ
that's
गई.
just a sign of confidence
Miss
in
था
this
क्या
game
था?
when they're able to just take those fights, kind of not really feeling the
लग रहा है
pressure
2-0 हो
of
जाएगी
losing
जी.
those 1v1s. Obviously, a
इस
little
हिसाब से
bit
खेल रही है.
punished, but
यही
it's
है main
okay
round.
because now
इस पे पता लग
Aspas
जाएगा क्या
online
सीन
with the operator that we were talking about so much so on this first gun round for GE.
2-1.
Is the Cypher as well as the Omen towards C Mound, though, and that is exactly where GE are starting to challenge.
ये
Cam
वो
is still
रहेगा.
out there towards C to try to confirm whether this is actually going to be a commitment as we head a little bit deeper into this round. Nightfall picked up by Patman. I think they're just going to take that hold and run with it as the progression smoke and the
फिर
Prowler
से
go
C
in. Still
execute.
2 players on the site here. Burno
Alt
pushed away
मारी,
as he
alt
TPs
शायद
into
tag हुआ,
spawn, and
हाँ.
Texas
Text
hung around a
tag हुआ
little
था.
bit too far on Waterfall there.
Now post plant for GE.
आसपास
Trying not
थोड़ा
to
सा ऑफ
overstand because
है
they
हो
have
सकता है
numbers,
वो
but
चीज़
look
हो
at
जो
how
अभी
fast
पिछले
these
लाइक
players
सेकंड राउंड में हुई
have
थी
gotten
जिनके साथ
over here
अगर
from
उसने
the
टैग
side
दे
of
दिया तो
MIBR,
फिर बहुत
using that
बहुत
nightfall
डिफिकल्ट हो
on
जाएगा
both
जी के लिए
sides.
होल्ड करना.
Not really pushing or
बैटमैन
moving
प्लान कर नहीं
forward
पा रहा
based
क्योंकि
off of
सामने
it,
से
despite
स्पैम आ रहा है.
finally
आसपास
gonna
घुस
get
गया.
planted.
Second घुसा,
Seconds
sorry.
in. Patman and Udo getting those
Wow,
picks. Udo with a
Udotan,
3
let's
to shut
go,
it down, and Bruno
Udo.
now left in a 1v4. The nades coming in.
Nice
and it's gonna make
nade,
a
Udo.
4K for Udo.
Let's
Yeah, he's got a
go,
showstopper
Udo.
online now. That's a big round to win for GE to restore
Nice
a
one,
little
yeah,
bit of
nice one.
confidence, and they are starting to really hammer
एक
home
मारा
the
ना
point
शायद?
that this C site is a problem for MIBR. Rolled over it both on the pistol and then in their opening gun
Nice
round
one, nice
here.
one, nice one.
Despite who's playing there, Global Esports are not having too many problems cracking that.
मेरे को
Yeah,
5
it
की
looks like
वॉचिंग दिखी थी,
MIBR, the
मैं
flood
अभी भी
retake just
डाइजेस्ट नहीं कर
wasn't
पा रहा
there.
हूँ कि 5
Zekin
की
was
वॉचिंग
all
कैसे आ
out
रही है मेरे
onto
को,
site
5 की
using
वॉचिंग
both satchels and no one was there to
5
follow up. The util wasn't really there either, but now a little change of pace here for MIBR, using a heavy stack towards the same main to get control.
Yeah, Outlaw out on the line. Bottom looking for the pick,
फिर से
dodging
घुसा
that
हो Zekin,
paranoia.
नाइस
Crystal's
वन
got him
यार,
back
नाइस
decently, and
वन
despite the fact that MIBR
जाएगा
used to
टेक्स
secure control of Rebel,
अभी
they've lost
भाई
2 players on the
थोड़ा
C
सा
push
झूम गए
and
थे
the
अभी
A
भाई
push. GE in full control of this round.
Grouping towards this C here. They're not worried about it. They've come here before.
Udan,
Banter playing
udo,
close
udo,
with
udo.
that bandit. Not going to be able to
ओए
get one, but
नाइस
as
शॉट,
I say
नाइस
that, he gets two.
वो मारा बे,
Zabi getting the trade
तीसरा
onto
भी गया,
Verno. Spam
2v2
kill
बना
from
दिए बे
Mizino, and
उसको,
all of a sudden,
दोनों के पास
it's a
गन भी है
two.
वो, इंटरनेट को क्या हो गया भाई, इज एवरीथिंग ओके, चल जा, चल जा, चल जा, चल जा, स्ट्रीम तो ओके
For a
है,
little bit of
फिर कैसे
information, the fade on the other
चल
side
गया,
of things looking to slow the loses a little bit of the trade,
2v2
but that
बनाया है, फिर से हो गया क्या,
doesn't give him pause for thought. He just continues challenging
क्रिस्टल
this
निकाल
off
दिया,
angle.
बट
Crystal has
आसपास
got the
है अभी
cross.
भी कोई
आसपास.
वो है नहीं भाई, क्या हो रहा है इंटरनेट को, इंटरनेट तो ठीक चल रहा है, चल तो ठीक रहा है इंटरनेट, मेरे को उसमें सही दिख रहा है, ओबीएस में प्रॉपर इंटरनेट आ रहा है,
Into a very difficult 1-on-2. Able
आसपास
to
एक को
punish
निकाला,
Batman for the peak on the back of the Prowler there. Spike ticking a little bit faster as pressure is being
निकाल
applied
सकता है
by
वो क्रिस्टल
Crystal,
को, आसपास
and
है
he's
वो,
going to peek out, but Aspas able to spray him through the
ओ
wall.
भाई
Pick up that
आसपास,
massive 1-on-2 for MIBR. This is just such a
आसपास
tense
भाई,
game.
I questioned a little bit the Aspas waylay, but his movement there, the way that he uses util was really nice to
आसपास
see.
बड़ा
MIBR,
खतरनाक खेल
they
रहा है,
keep going for these aggressive peaks, trying to get that
यही
line.
प्रॉब्लम था, वो जी राउंड निकाल गई थी,
Left it
केवल
a
एक बंदा
2-on-1
खड़ा था
against
सामने
Aspas
आसपास,
and took him all the way down to 14 HP, but that's all he needs
It's
to
okay.
get some of those rounds done. You can see
निकलेगा,
just how much damage this has done to both teams'
खोल के बैठा
economy
कैम,
now. This is going to be a
इधर
reset
इसका
round for
कैम,
both of them in round number 6. Quick moves
उसके
here
लिए लगाया
on
था
towards the
उसने,
C
दो
side of the
उसके
map
लिए,
from MIBR, really pushing it all the way down. Prowler clears the middle of the map. Firstly, on the other side of things, GE have taken A control, but are looking to re-clear the middle of the
बैग
map
भी,
here.
आसपास फिर से
Slow
बी पे
group
है,
towards this C side here. MIBR have literally
फिर से
nothing
C,
on this site. 2 players rotating
हाँ
over
C,
towards spawn. Make that 3. They have an inkling that they're trying to end
एग्जीक्यूट हो
towards
रहा है,
this
बट
C
दिक्कत यही है
site
कि
here,
सी
and the
जाएंगे ना
Prowler
तो अब
comes
इस
out.
बार बहुत रोटेट हो चुका है, देन आसपास पहले से ही वहाँ पे है,
The
पता नहीं
execute, that's
इंटरनेट
going
को
to
क्या
be
हो रहा है,
so much noise, but they're positioned
आसपास है
really
ना,
well
तो
here for
दिक्कत
MIBR
ये है,
to
अभी
have a
से
really
वो
fast flood.
जैकन भी आए
Big
हैं,
goals for
जैकन का
both
नेड
of
आया,
these teams.
लेकिन
GE
स्पॉटेड
very tentative
है, ओ क्या हो रहा है बे इंटरनेट
on
को,
getting the spike down. They don't want to anything. And we're still in a 5-on-5.
अभी भी इंटरनेट प्रॉब्लम,
Aspas
अब ठीक है,
finally breaking through for the
खेला
time
भाई
being.
आसपास,
Still tentative, waiting for that rocket
यूसी
to
हुआ
collapse on the side
उडो
of
का,
GE, who are all
ऑटम
playing
सामने है,
inside of the site. Autumn up
ऑटम
close.
एक, ऑटम दो,
Got on at least 2, but
रीलोड
Outlook
गया
now, a couple
बे,
of trades come
शिट,
through, and it's all down to Patman.
बैटमैन
In
वर्सेस
a
ओनली
1-on-2, this is what he does best. Rookie of the year last year,
नहीं
but
निकाल
not good
पाया,
enough
उसके
this
कैम में
time.
पहले दिख गया,
Verno will put him down, and it's another successful C retake for MIBR.
टीम में लैग है
That's
बट कैम में नहीं
crazy
है,
from
कैम में
MIBR.
पहले
That
दिख जा
whole
रहा है,
round, they were constantly moving in the spawn,
मैं भी आ रहा है, मैं
constantly
भी क्लियर
rotating,
डिफ दे रही
trying
है,
to find out where the lines were. It was a little bit weird that they were moving towards that A site where Tex had set up
क्लियर
all
डिफ है
his
भाई,
cipher trips,
एमआई
but they weren't
आसपास
right away.
डिफ है,
They heard that there was no noise, no pressure. They instantly rotated over. Still a little bit scary. That was a little bit sloppy of a
आसपास
retake,
डिफ,
getting picked off when they're running through the smokes like that, making sure they're not in trading positions, lining up a little bit.
अब
It
ये
was a little bit
राउंड
scary, but
इको,
again, MIBR winning
पर
out with the
अटैकिंग में नहीं
power
निकाल पा
of
रही है ना
their
5
frags.
राउंड
And
में
now
जी, तो फिर तो
on
वैसे
this
भी
round,
इसमें
we're
अपना
going to
कुछ
have a
नहीं, क्योंकि
full
अटैकिंग में
thrifty
आता है,
here for GE. Sheriffs almost
कि
across the
वो
board, but
लोकस
knives on
जैसे
the side
अटैकिंग
of
में अपना
Autumn.
नहीं निकलता है, तो
It's a
बहुत
big
मुश्किल हो
round for
जाएगी
MIBR to be winning. Need to try to capitalize off the back of that. Once again, you're getting this refract walk through from Aspas straight into Autumn, but that's a
Oh, Autumn
difficult
का,
shot to be converting on the blades.
That was scary. That was really scary. Autumn with those knives are not something to be messed with. But GE continuing to take it a little bit slow, just trying to find their pick, find their one, trying to get that number advantage so they
तो
can pick
मुश्किल
where
है,
they
वैसे ये
want to
ट्राई
go.
नहीं कर रही
Looking
है,
like
पता
they
नहीं
want to
क्यों
end
जी,
towards this A here,
निकाल
but a
तो
little
सकती है
Prowler
क्योंकि केवल
not
साइफर
going to get any
खेलता
info.
है,
Aspas getting the peek, drops Autumn, and all of a sudden, that's a lot of information for them because Mizzino has Olive Tree and 3 players now on this A site ready to keep it fight for it, make sure they don't get on.
Yeah, Verno on that C info line is fantastic. That's a cracker of an entry from Harvey though, but Aspas still getting in the mix with the Outlaw, able to dash out of the site now, but it's a lot of pressure here for GE. Oma TP does come in, but unfortunately they haven't checked Tex here. That's a spike drop. Neural Dev is invested there. And Patman caught on the cross. Crystal was potentially a little bit of a contingency plan here for GE to pivot on over to, but when he doesn't have the spike, there's not much to be done, and Aspas will end it outright. That's 3 in a row now for MIBR.
This has been a really big step up for Aspas on this Waylay. I feel like his movement has just become so much cleaner than what it used to be on the Waylay. Felt a little bit clunky, felt a little bit like they didn't have a plan. But now, this in particular made me gasp because it was just so scary. But then also when he's on that site, able to just get away from the fight after taking his pick, his timings on this has been really good. And of course, the rotations from MIBR, it's been so good all game so far. It feels like they're almost that step ahead. They're just there every single time when they know that GE is putting down the pressure. And now for GE, they're probably wondering, what do they need to do? So far, they've had that success on getting onto C. They've had success on getting the spike down, but it's that fast flood all of a sudden that they can't cope with.
Yeah, I think a lot of these rounds are just getting quite messy and drawn out, unfortunately. Neither one of these teams really getting the clean execution that they're looking for, and MIBR always coming ahead in those situations. So this is not a particularly easy pause to take as GE, because you're kind of trying to adjust on micro things like, okay, our spacing is off a little bit, maybe our comms are off, maybe we need to make better plans in some of these post plans.
चूहा माउस ले जाना चाह रहा
We'll
था
see
लेकिन
what the
बच
approach
गया.
is going to be, whether it is going to be those micro adjustments or whether they're going to come in with a clear plan into round 8. Trying to break this dry spell. Got the pistol, got ecoed. We're able to come through with a gun round in round 4, but outside of that, MIBR is really starting to pull ahead now.
वैसे जी से मैच
Yep,
निकल रहा
another
और आसपास
operator
ऑफ चला ले.
online for Aspas this time. Bought to him by Verno, and they're gonna do another C's nade towards this rebel, trying to punish any A main. The dash comes in, he might get caught by those nades, and Zach can get that pick onto Autumn with those paint shells. Mazzino just pushing up, his aim is so crisp. Udo getting caught off, just trying to jump up towards that half wall, and now all of a sudden, GE's plan is just falling apart. They can't get this A lobby. They have no presence anywhere else on this map. And MIBR, they just have the full line, getting the orb. This is just a chill day for them.
Yeah, this is nightmare fuel for GE. Post timeout, they immediately get caught by the C's nade. Both duelists hit the deck. Now Patman trying to pick up the pieces. Prowler going forward. Aspas on a pretty dirty off angle here. I don't think this is to be expected. That is a cracker of a shot from Crystal. GE might have a little bit of a chance in here. MIBR well aware of exactly where GE are.
But ये crossing
The
दिक्कत
question is,
देगी.
how many more duels are they going to be given?
Crossing बहुत दिक्कत देगी.
Mazzino alone on this A site, but Tex to join him. The baby door being held to
और
here
ना,
by Zakin, and Crystal getting another one. He's the main reason why this team has come back into this round.
मार रहा है,
Walking
देख
up here,
उसको.
looking
लग
like they're
जाएगा,
trying to
जाएगा.
add towards A. Tex with a beautiful flank, and Verno getting that final pick
इसलिए अच्छा खेला
onto
बे round.
Patman.
Yeah, that's
क्या
Tex's best
round
position.
निकाला
He's just won like 2 rounds for MIBR from that exact same spot. Perfect timing. Always just valuing his life and waiting in the wings, knowing that his Cypher utility is doing a lot of work on the map, and then when he's needed, comes out from the woodwork and gets it done. The round that did not start well. Credit to Crystal, since his transition over to the Sentinel role, his mechanics have really been something to marvel at after maybe having some weaker performances individually in the past. But that still wasn't quite enough to dig GE out of a bit of a nightmare situation as they go back onto yet another kind of weaker buy.
Aspas setting up with the
Autumn को step up करना पड़ेगा. Autumn थोड़ा unlucky हो रहा है. 2 बार तो नेट से मारा वो combo में.
Trying to get any information. The
Guns भी नहीं है. 2 round gun नहीं थी. 2 round बेचारा फंस के मर गया.
Tex is here just spamming full setup towards B, which hasn't really been contested yet. Haven't tried breaking any of those cypher trips on the side of GE. So Tex is just having a field day, having those really good rotations as much as he can. And now information gathered from Mazzino. They're going to know that there's players towards the A side.
No more smokes on the attacking side. Those are usually important. As far as I'm aware, Athena. We've lost Udatan as well. Autumn swinging through the smoke hand in hand with Patman. It's an immediate paranoia straight from Verno over on the B side, and that is giving GE pause. Completely shut down. This has been a landslide of rounds capped off by a flawless from MIBR.
This is almost a landslide here for MIBR. They're getting away with so much. They're so good at getting these early fights, or at least forcing GE to take them. They're fighting at this point both sides of the map just because they can. Fighting that A, fighting that C, setting Ospas up with an op anywhere that he wants to go. And just being really annoying. It feels like they're not even forcing it that hard. They're just allowing GE to take the bait on a lot of these fights, and now switching it up, this setup towards B site. We said that they never really challenged it, and somehow MIBR knew, because 2 players here for the first time from GE.
Given a stern warning there. Down to 4 HP, and Aspas might go back for a second helping here. Out by the Prowler there from Mazzino. Patman pushed away. Berno continually just has this C info line self-sufficiently for MIBR. Doesn't even need any help. He just keeps cycling the dark covers. And once again, GE given a rubble control, because MIBR, honestly, at this point, do not care if they have it. Every single time GE actually use it to springboard into A, they get absolutely rolled.
And now finally Tex is going to see some action, ending towards that Cypher site for the first time this game. They're going to see that trip and they're going to know something's up. Hopefully, they're thinking for themselves that this might be the weaker site, but we still need to be careful because there's 3 players here towards the side of MIBR. The Nightfall comes out, stops that execute from ever happening for GE, and they walk away because they're just a little bit scared.
But at least GE pushed him off the info line. Autumn very much hoping that someone will give him some kind of opportunity here, but with the cam up, there's absolutely no reason for MIBR to peek Tex. They've seen him in stairs so many times. Spamming away, they'll be well aware that he's in there. Inside of tree is Zekken. The trip gets hit, but no one really capitalizing off the back of that. Patman's dead inside of the door. Zekken really tested and knocked inside a tree. Crossfire coming through from Tex with only 10 seconds on the clock. This is falling apart for GE. 10 HP on Unitarn, and that is an easy 3K for Zekken. How many rounds have they just walked up A into an absolute nightmare situation?
It's insane. Like, whether Tex is there alone on weak side, he's able to hold. Whether the team is literally not on site, they're able to rotate in time. And every single time, they're just punishing GE using the C's nade combo at the best of times from MIBR. It feels like they've really got a definite good read on how GE is playing, how they're going to be adapting. They're 1 or 2 steps ahead at this point, I feel like. And now we're going to be looking at this round. 2 players from MIBR here towards this C mound, but it's 2 different players. It's Verno and Tex this time, as opposed to Zekken and Ospas. Tex getting 2 picks. He's been a star player so far this game, but the trades are coming in. Javi and Patman both good for 1, and all of a sudden the Nightfall comes in. This execute is going to be turned into a spike plan. I see that, but Zekken's already into sight. He's flooded in. Udo getting a pick, but it's not enough. Ospas, Patman, what is going on? Ospas in the smoke with the shorty.
Oh, man. I mean, again, GE, they do a pretty good job of cracking on into that C site, but the flood is a little bit too fast for them to deal with. Zekken diving in with the rocket, and Aspas just light speeding in with the shorty. Able to end that round before GE can really get the comfortable and put their feet up inside of the C site. 9-2. This is very rough going for GE. This Lotus pick is looking pretty excellent on the side of MIBR. They might even hit double digits before we end this first half of regulation here.
Yeah, definitely scary.
Okay, don't laugh
I'm
like
sorry.
that.
You don't like my villain laugh?
That's too much.
Just, you know, reminding you that America's is going to be on top. But anyway, 3 of these players from MIBR, they're set up towards A. Again, knowing that there's something going on here. Zekken using the nades with the Waylay combo. That was insane. And another punish for Autumn. And GE, they're opting to just run towards this site. But Verno hears that TP. Oh, Javi sticking that insane. And now all these trips are going to slow down the rest of the execute. Tex punishing Udo. But the trade with that rocket.
Comes the Steel Garden. Desperation stations here for GE as Verno's able to deal with Patman, and it's a 10-2 half for MIBR. Just absolute domination here on Lotus defense.
I feel like a player that we haven't talked about enough is Tex, and he's on the top of the scoreboard here for MIBR. He's been playing so well, and I feel like this player has consistently been a rock for this team, a stabilizer. He's always good for his, playing that Senti role. His lurks have been insane. He's constantly
तो
been
टीम भी
really
तो
good with those
खतरनाक है,
rotates, as we can
ज़ैकन,
see on this map
आसपास,
specifically.
वर्नो,
He's always in the right place on the right time. And now I'm kind of excited to see how he plays on this
मजीनो भी है.
attack side, seeing how he's going to lurk, how he's going to take those ones, because you can tell
पता
none
नहीं
of these
Masters
players on
कैसे
MIBR
qualify
are
हुए थे
scared to
हमारे
take
लिए.
their ones.
No, definitely not, and nor should they be. A lot of talent stacked up on this roster, and now they've finally gotten the chance to grace the international stage. They are definitely.
क्यों
not
लग
gonna
रहा
be
है कि
taking that for
MIBR
granted.
इस बार जीत ना जाए.
This is,
EWC
been
भी
a
निकाल
little bit of a
सकती है MIBR.
demolition, unfortunately at the expense
सब
of
तो
global
खेल रही है
esports,
ना.
who have got to try to get something rolling in this second half. Even if they don't win this map of Lotus,
बहुत
they
ज़्यादा होगा तो
definitely need to at least play for a little bit of momentum coming into their own pick.
If you're GE,
NRG
what are
होगी
you
जो मेरे को
talking
लग रहा है.
about
NRG
in
या
this
फिर
halftime?
KC.
What are you trying to do?
KC
other
भी
than
नहीं
me
है.
as a
मैं तो
coach, 'cause I was
NRG
a
या
terrible
फिर
hype man, I would be
NRG या
Come
BBL.
on, guys, we could do
यही
this.
दो टीम हो सकती है जिनको
If
हरा
you
सकती
said
है.
that
वरना
to
मेरे को
me
नहीं
and
लग
I
रहा
was
हरा
10-2
पाएगा कोई.
down, I would be like, it's okay, guys, let's just go next.
You could say let's just go next. I might try and just make people laugh.
Yeah?
Like, yeah,
टॉस्ट भाई के जाने से
That's
ही
valid. I mean, this is a struggle of a
बुरे
map.
हाल हैं जी
guys, we're not playing
बेचारे.
MIBR. We're playing X team that we always dominate in scrims. New half. Let's just pretend, okay? A little bit of role play, guys, please.
Yeah, and then Osmos is in your face, refracting back, getting space. Zekins throwing nades at you consistently at the perfect time.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
मेरे को लग रहा है जल्दी जिम जाने को मिलेगा. डेढ़ घंटे की स्ट्रीम, डेढ़
But
घंटे
it
की
is
नहीं, 1
MIBR's
घंटे की
pick.
स्ट्रीम हो
Just
गया.
be like, hey guys, listen,
मैच
it's
खत्म
MIBR's
जल्दी
pick, don't
फटाफट
worry.
दूंगा.
They're going to win this one. We go into ours, we're prepped. We
Yeah.
know what we're doing in the
तो
next
कल गए
game.
थे भाई.
We got
कल
this on lock.
I mean, it's a
कल
big
अगर मैं
test
सारा मैच
because,
करने
as
बैठता ना
mentioned
तो
before,
मैं 9
we
बजे
do
उठता
have a
स्ट्रीम
new
करने.
head coach in the coaching booth, someone that has been very intimately
charge हो
involved
जाएगा.
with the roster in all of their
charge
runs
होगा. Light आ रही
recently,
है
though.
मुझे.
But Platoon has definitely got to step up as a little bit of a leader here for global esports.
प्लाटून
and I
भाई
do
खेल
imagine
नहीं
that
पा रहे.
Harvey
मुझे
and
लग रहा है
Pat
क्योंकि
will
एक भी
have many words to
वो
be
आया
saying
नहीं
to
था
the
टाइम
boys.
आउट.
Try to keep them
बाकी
a
टाइम आउट
little bit
चाहिए
more
था जी.
focused.
जी को फोर्थ
Smiles on the face
फिफ्थ
of
राउंड
autumn.
में भी लेना था यार.
Just one of those games that happens
ये सोच रखा है
sometimes.
जी ने कि
Yeah.
लोटस है हमसे नहीं होगा,
a
पहले से
pistol
मान
and
रखा
a
है.
couple of rounds can really, change a man's perception.
क्योंकि जी की अटैकिंग थी और सब कुछ बेकार हो रहा था. पता नहीं फिर भी
Starting
क्यों नहीं लिया
into this
उसने.
pistol now.
नहीं.
Kind of a must win for
Time
GE
out.
if they want to kind of give themselves some sort of rounds
क्योंकि
to
अब
work
तो
with and
मुश्किल
not
नहीं लग रहा है कि वो
allowing
लोग
MIBR to
रुक
run
पाएंगे
away with it.
क्योंकि वेले है,
MIBR though
रेज है.
starting towards 3B. The mound
उसका
influence
running
being
back
taken
बहुत,
by GE. That prowler's going
difference
to push them
डाल देगा.
all the way back, and that
जाएगा,
pressure's
check
going to pull
करेगा,
rotate.
वापस
Osmos
चला
already
जाएगा.
into the B site, refracting back. Zekin trying to get that
क्या
pick
क्या
onto
करे
Javi, but it's not going to work out. Javi just being so good at not giving them one. But late now, Zekin gets that pick. The door is
आसपास
tapped.
चलो,
Autumn
आसपास तुम्हारा
punishing
Autumn
Osmos for standing
कुछ
out
तो
in the
कर
open.
पाया.
And now all of a sudden, they're pushing
Fedman को
towards
low
the
कर दिया
spawn
फिर.
here, wrapping towards C.
Yeah, it's a little bit disjointed for MIBR, so they need to make
Oh,
sure that
ये
they're
आ
not
रहे
putting
हैं
a toe
वापस.
out of line on an
Oh my
individual
God.
basis. Same can be said for GE,
धप्पा
though.
होगा अभी क्रिस्टल भाई
Just
धप्पा
one
होगा.
player on this A site by himself. Crystal has got a lot of work to do.
Crystal
when
भाई
he's
को लगेगा
completely
ये कैसे
surrounded.
हुआ?
Sheer wall at least keeping a
ये
main in
कैसे
check
हो
as he
सकता है?
slips into tree. In the meantime, Autumn is clearing out all of attackers' spawn, but with
Tree
MIBR
में
making their way
बैठा
onto the
है
A site. Boots can be heard on the ground here. Crystal around the
इसको
corner. with
मारा
the frenzy. He's got a
फ्रेंजी
lot of work
पिछले
to do.
बार.
4 bullets
Oh
left,
my
and at
God,
least he's able to
क्रिस्टल
take
करा
2
मैं
with him.
आज. अकेला
Now
लगा
all of a
पड़ा
sudden,
लगा
a
पड़ा लगा
2v3
पड़ा है.
here. The nades coming out, preventing that spike from being put down. Zekin trying to get aggressive,
2v3
take that heaven
30
space
seconds.
back, try to
Crystal की
get
बदौलत.
one. Inferno just
अब
waiting,
देखते क्या होता है.
tapping that spike once again, trying to get it down. And two of these players walking up towards this A main. So much noise from Verno, but they know that that heaven is clear because of the space that Zekin's taking. The smoke going down. He's going to try playing into that. And all players are up on this front side. Zekin getting the pick onto Autumn, and now all of a sudden a 2v2. The paranoia going out, but Udon, he's already wrapped towards the back of the
वो
site.
डिफ कर रहा है.
2v1, the spike is half.
Udo
Scary.
down.
Batman, he has no
बैटमैन
HP.
लो
Zekin,
एचपी
could
अगर
this
नेट
be
डाल
an
दिया
ace
ना तो फिर खत्म हो
to
जाएगा.
win this round? The nades
डाल
waiting for
दिया.
that tap being thrown. Batman
अब बहुत मुश्किल
walking
है.
away from it. So
बहुत मुश्किल है
low.
Batman
Oh
को
my
निकालना.
god, the seat going out, the haunt.
क्योंकि इसको डिफ करना है ना, वो नहीं कर
Nothing yet.
सकता.
Batman tapping the spike.
Yeah,
Just gonna stick it, but it's the ace for
easy.
Zekin.
Ace.
And that is just insult to
Ba-bum,
injury for
ba-bum.
global esports. 11-2 here.
अभी भी
They
अगर टाइम आउट नहीं आ रहा तो
desperately
मतलब नहीं
needed
है.
a pistol here on Lotus in the second half, but it's not going to be coming together.
हो नहीं
That is
पाएगा
just
फिर
perfection
प्लेटून
from
के
yet
अंदर जी का.
another one of MIBR's stars.
Really good job for MIBR. It looked like they were trying to get towards
G
B. They
fighting की
started
जगह
pushing
G
towards
struggling
C.
हो
They
रहा है
heard
यहाँ पे
that
तो.
door open and they were like, never mind, I think they're stacked and wrapping towards that A. But for GE, man, like that was winnable. it looked like they were in the right place at the right time. They had the right
11
reads.
to
They
2 round ये वैसे भी मुश्किल
collapsed
है
onto that
निकालना
front
जी
B,
का
making sure they were punishing it. And now they're stuck with
वरनों ने लिए गन
not the best weapons. Sheriffs trying
आसपास
to get
with
anything to do, and they're using it
Guardian.
to start pushing towards that B main.
Desperation force here for GE. And maybe are really simplifying, starting to make their way through tree. Autumn
अगर ये वाला
from
हारी
here,
जी तो फिर ये
doing a
बस
little
इसका
bit of
है
damage
नहीं,
here
चलो
that
वो
Harvey
वाला।
will be at least able to follow up on for a
Aspas.
moment. But Aspas with a quick reply. Unitime on the off angle. The stinger is not the gun for the job
Damage
there.
तो दिया है बट
And
गन
MIBR
हो
at least
सकता
able
है
to settle for a moment. Flanks coming in for Patman.
हाँ ये
Aspas being
क्रूशियल
very
होगा
sneaky, but I
बैटमैन
think
ने अगर
Patman is
आसपास
well
को टेक
aware.
डाउन किया
Spike's gone down on the
आता
A
है
side.
दूसरा
At
लो
least the waylay has been dealt with over on Rubble.
अब चांस से निकाल सकते हैं
3v3
क्योंकि वरनों के
here.
पास ही
This
गन बची है
post
बाकी
plan
दोनों के
looking
पास
a
सेम
little bit
वेपन
hard.
नहीं
The door's going to get tapped. That pressure's going to
Two
be good.
pistols
Tex is going to
versus two
fall off of
pistols
that tree
two
positioning, and
pistols
now all
तो
these
नहीं
players
लेकिन
from
हासिल
MIBR
कर रहा है
playing backside.
पिस्टल मान लेते हैं
The fast flood coming
तीनों
in
बैक साइड
now,
खेल रहे
tapping
हैं
that
मुश्किल
spike,
है
trying to get any of these solo peeks.
Oh,
Patman getting
nice
the pick
shot,
onto Tex.
Patman.
Beautiful
Varno
shot.
ने
Inferno
निकाला।
trading,
Oh,
instantly
Varno
getting two, and now
take
all of a
down
sudden
कर दी
a
है
1v1, but it's
सिंगर है
second.
वैसे
He's
बंदे
won
में
that pistol, and he's
ah
gonna win this round as well.
my god
Really good try by GE here, punishing so many of those angles and being
Timing भाई
fast on
लूट
that
की
flank, but it just doesn't work
Timing.
out in MIBR. They're just shooting back.
I mean, that's just traumatic. 2 rounds in a row. Zekken denying Global Esports around on that A site. And, yeah, it's not looking like they have
के
long
साथ
left here
बड़ा
on
बुरा हो
Lotus,
रहा है
unfortunately. A lot of these rounds getting down into scrappy
तो खजाना
XPXs, even in the first half. But MIBR have come out on top of those time and time again. Another force being
अगला
put together
हेवन
here
है
for GE.
हेवन
What they can come up with, it is a glass cannon
Highborn
outlaw.
है अगला
Patman at least
Highborn
has a vandal and some armor, and Harvey deals with that prowler over on the C side of the map. MIBR have taken some space over there.
आसपास भाई वो डैमेज पड़ गया डैमेज
Lots of C mound pressure.
ऑटम गया
They're
ओ
walking into Harvey.
चलो।
Autumn, sorry, getting
Autumn
picked
भाई
off by
ये 4
Tex. That's
15
actually
चाहिए ना यहाँ पे।
insane. The peak right there from Tex. This is what I was talking about in terms of lyrics. And now so much information has gone, but they're going to try to re-clear towards the sea. A really nice trap here. The blind, the paranoia
निकाला बट
going
भाई
in. But the trades are
में दो
just so good from
Batman भी
MIBR.
गया
Osmos getting that pick. Everyone's just following up with each other. And all of a sudden, 1v4 to win this map.
Yeah, Unitime has got his work cut out for
इंसान
him
में
here.
बेचारे स्ट्रीम
Will
भी
have
तो नहीं
to
कर सकते
announce his
इस बार
presence by opening up the door, and MIBR
दौड़े
already
जा
set
रहे हैं
up
दौड़े जा
nicely.
रहे हैं
Tech sitting in the corner here. Low on HP, doesn't want to overcook this one. Unitime really going looking for someone, and somehow in the player cam, he's playing without one hand on the mouse. Of course, that's Harvey. He's dodged. Verno was playing his time in the door, and Tex will get it done. It was only really a matter of time, let's be honest. A fantastic opener here for MIBR at EWC.
Yeah, what a way to start out their games. And this is what I was talking about. When it comes to firepower, so many of those rounds were won just by sheer peaks, just by taking their ones, making sure they're aggressively playing, taking that map control, because
चलो आ जाओ एजी
quite
वाले
frankly,
एजी
they
ग्लोबल के
feel
मैच
like
खेलते
it.
हैं
They feel like they're going to win those fights.
These plans
जी के साथ
thrive
बुरा
on
हुआ
neglect. They need very
कोई
little
नहीं हम
watering
देखते हैं एजी
and they
ग्लोबल
know
क्या
right
कर
well.
रही है
And a
Yeah, surprisingly they're going to go
हेरेटिक्स
the other way.
पहला मैच वो पहले ही
It
चल
might be
रहा
one
है
of the only
देख लो यहाँ
players
पहला मैच चल रहा है तो
in
पहले चालू हो
Valorant
गया था मैच
that actually uses the Ares, but also
Esports
makes it
World
look good.
Yep.
Well, for the rest, can they find
कुछ
anything?
मराश
Another Ares
भाई ने यहाँ
kill.
पर दो धर दिए तीन
Why
धर
not?
दिए
Get out of here, bro. What is that?
It's versus Eco,
कोश
but
मराश भाई
Ares
अकेले
is
पकड़ के मार
so-
रहे
What was that
हैं
shot,
AGL
bro?
को
I think it's,
Slid out of the smoke, insta headshot him in the smoke. That
I
was
don't know. It sounds like he's making you a fan.
a fan of him. Yeah.
ये गन से
With
जो
the
ये
Ares.
कोश मराश भाई कर
Fan
रहे हैं
of him.
गलत बात
I'm just a fan of
स्पैम नहीं
Costream.
करना चाहिए
With-
मुंबई
but
सर्वर
in
में
this
नहीं है
round
You
in
kinda wish
particular
मुंबई
with
सर्वर में
Ares.
होता था तो दो
in
दो
this
चार
round,
भली
you know,
बुरी
it's
बातें
more
सुन
about
ली
his
होती
movement. I would say the slide was what really caught me. I love that so
उनको
much. So
समझाओ
that
गलत
was-
बात होती है
Yeah, I
नहीं
think
करना होता
Ares is
स्पैम
a
नहीं करना
tertiary
होता
part of it.
लिखो लिखो चैट में लिखो
So it
ओडिन
is
ओडिन
part of it.
नो ओडिन
No,
वाई
hold on.
ओडिन
Glad we agree. You need to choose your words
10
more
to 4,
carefully.
Tom.
पुष्पराज भाई फिर से वही देख रहे हो एरिस
Nice
लेके घुस
slide
गए
coming in
हाँ,
from Kosh,
चलो,
but he'll be
मारा
caught
तब
this
भी।
time. Stunned there for
बाई ने
Benji,
मारा
and
बाई ने
he's made it around the
बाई ने
corner.
कोशमराज को मारा बेंजी
Out of
जी ने
dodge
बाई
at
को
least for
मारा
now. But even trades
दोनों टीम के
right off
नियॉन
rip
खत्म
for Heretics when they have these weaker weapons to work with. It's not too bad. The other thing I'm surprised by is GRQ and Kira have both gone for the light shields. That's a big advantage if Wook gets them in his sights. For now, you can see he's clearly not going to. He's on the other side of the map, but the late round, I wouldn't put it out of.
They've got the right read. They've decided, okay, we've got Raid Boss on one side in the form of Woot, and the rest of the players on the other. Benji already managed to clear one. Nice shots, though. Do they realize that Rians is still here? Yes, they do. Good paranoia. Make sure all the danger is gone.
I mean, it's Woot. You're in a 3 versus 1 against Woot, and you're low HP. Pop the ult. Go look for him.
Did
अरे
still
आई
have
को आई
the
लिख लो
Blaze
यार
Wall. We could have healed himself up with that too.
I think they know it's, or at least suspect after earlier, and the shots landed, that this should be an
वो
outlaw. So
अकेला बचा है वो ट्राई कर रहे
the thing is, you're going
हैं
back to 125 shields. I
10-4
forgot he was the
करना
player
भी
on light
चाहिए।
shield. So even still, it would be a one and done.
बढ़िया
But
पड़ गया
GRQ finds 4 in this round and closes in the gap a little bit.
Yeah, he was a necessary hero, which is a worrying sign with that being quite a weak bonus round. It was the few guns to play with. I think there was an SMG in the
वो अभी
mix
तक
as
एक भी
well. So
वॉचिंग नहीं आई है कोई ना
it's
यार
not the worst for Heretics, but I think the main thing is that if GRQ is going to start popping off like this over on the Phoenix, that's something that almost feels like a necessity going into this attack side half. You're 5 rounds
फूट
down.
भाई
Your Phoenix.
अब कुछ
This
महाराज
is
भाई
where
अपनी अल्ट
he
के बाद
should
अरे
thrive. On the
अब ये
defense,
उडिल लेके
Phoenix
दौड़ेगा
is really hard to use. Very situational. The
अबे
retakes can
भाई
work. And while operator in hand,
अभी तक
Woot
बेचारा
has
वो
been
लेके
pretty disrespectful with the way he's been finding these openers so far, but this time they've avoided him.
Walking
बस
down
फिर ले
again.
जाएगा वो
They haven't
मैंने बोला
avoided him
था
for long.
Yeah, that lasted about 5 seconds. Roots picked up the first blood for this squad.
एक एक
All
कोच
gamers
महाराज
now
नहीं
in
मान रहा
trouble.
अभी तक एरिश चला रहा था लोड इन द
so
रूम
much
ओ
trouble.
माय गॉड एक
Push
और को ले
pass.
जाएगा
He's taken one, left another on half, and he has sent them scurrying away
My
from the
lord.
B site into
वो
the
बेंजी
hands of
फिजी
the
पे दौड़ रहे हैं
paranoid
बेंजी
Benji
फिजी
Fishy.
पे
There's
नो
no
एक
safe haven for this
वो
squad.
फिर
as
भी एक को
11
मार के गया
on the
बेंजी
board for
फिशी
Team Heretics.
They felt like they were almost ushering them into exactly where they wanted to be. So you have the operator
खतरनाक
to
मैच
push
चल
them
रहा है
out
बे
of one
दोनों
spot.
उधर
Then
जी
they go
मार खा
towards
रही है
middle.
इधर
You're like,
एजीएल
okay, if
मार
they've
खा रही
fallen
है
back, we get them with the Odin. It's like, okay, what happens if they now go into garage? We've got not just one flash, we got a double flash setup. That was a paranoia, and then the pop
Oh,
of the
पकड़
rose on the
लिया।
other side as well. So that there's no way anybody, you dodge one of those, you're still completely blinded. And then they double swing it together. That's a gorgeous round from Heretics, and from all gamers, you basically fell for every step of their plan.
I'm going to be honest, in the first 4 rounds, I was so worried for Heretics. They're making
फिर से
simple
देखते हैं
mistakes,
वुड
and all gamers look like
मेरे
the
को लग
better
रहा है
squad,
एक को
but
ले
the
जाएगा
plan
बहुत
has
गंदा मारेगा
changed
एक किसी को
in this
ये
second
कूदेगा
half. The
स्पॉट
defense
होते ही मारेगा देखना
2 away from closing it. Putting
Pangir
Him.
pressure
किंगी
onto all
बाई
gamers.
खीरा
Economy
श्रिम्प
quite low. A headhunter. All that Fangir has to
GRQ
work with. And he's about to have a challenge. A face coming out on long.
स्पॉट करेगा
Clears
और
all.
तोड़ दिया अभी
He's going for the
फिर
players,
से
not the
डैमेज दिया
drone.
फिर से
This is
डैमेज दिया
exactly what
half
happens.
HP
You get your
shield
drone cancelled, the spam through the wall and the door. Done a lot of damage.
ये भाई नहीं मान रहा ये अगला
And
वो
I think the
बेबी
worst
बे
part is Wood
बनेगा
is still sitting in
कुछ
that corner.
महाराज
He's gotten out a little bit wider.
आउट ही
And
नहीं
they
आउट ही
suspect that it's clear. It's been too long without him peeking.
Oh,
So they
miss किया बे वो
won't get any misses.
इतना गंदा
Yeah,
मार
that
रहा
was
है
the first
उसके
for
बाद miss कर
everything.
दे। फिर से
A little bit of pressure now being put on, but this is a ruse. This is a fake. Now they are going to have to trip the wall in order to give this up.
Benji,
Benji's
pakda
also
bhi
gone
Benji.
pressuring into middle, and they've sent the rotation back of Koshmaras. They've actually realized that maybe not so
अगर
far.
वो पीछे
Okay,
वाला नहीं होता
even
ना
with the wall
कोच महाराज
tripped,
एक और को
he
लेके
still
जाता
went sliding
कोच
in like a
महाराज एक और
madman.
को लेके जाता
That's going to be an advantage now. Never mind.
ओ,
Who's already managed to trade it back into their favor once again.
अबे
GRQ
मजे
needs
ले
another
रही है
big
बे
round, and he's got
TH,
nothing.
मजे
They are
ले लो।
losing every single
गन भी
fight.
गई
But Fangir's behind
फेंगिर
him.
फेंगिर का
Sneaking
अच्छा है
up
अगर
back
ये
around. He needs to
बैक
get
स्टेप किया
well,
फेंगिर
basically needs to get 2 at least
दो
from this
को तो
scenario.
ले
The first
जाएगा
one might just be free, but then they
Oh,
turn
nice
around
shot,
and he's going to
nice
come out with
shot.
3.
Oh
Leaves
my
it down to
टीम
1v1.
लेके गया
Shrimp
1v1
has
श्रिम्प
picked up
हाफ
the
एचपी
big gun,
श्रिम्प
the Odin, to try
Odin
and
है
clutch
Shrimp
this
के
one
पास
out. Benji's just sticking it though. Halfway,
हाफ हो
already
गया
gathered up. Almost has to try and swing this one. Needs the
Oh
instant
my
shot, and he will
God.
get
हाफ
it.
एचपी
A
नहीं होता तो
4K for
था उसके
Benji.
पास एक opportunity,
Fangir's
but
heroic wasn't quite
हाफ
enough,
एचपी के बाद
and
तो ना।
unfortunately, they are now facing map point.
चलो ये वाला
12
मैच
on
भी
the
मैं पॉइंट
board.
पे आ गया
Again, the first 5
ऐसा मैच
rounds, it
अच्छा
looked
होता
like we were
है
going to get a
एक टीम जीत
completely
रही है
different game here,
ज्यादा
but
वो
Heretics have
ये नहीं
activated.
12 15
And
13
that's
15
the
14
scary
15 जाए जा
prospect.
रहे हैं जाए जा
Root
रहे हैं
being on fire like this right out the
But
gates.
look at this round
He's
from
coming back
Benji.
here to defend his title.
Like Benji pushed mid, went back, cleared a guy in garage, then pushes back around, kills the guy in spawn, and then kills the guy all the way back towards long. Like he's basically fought every single possible angle that he could have in this round.
AGL ने टाइम आउट लिया देख रहा हो
I'll be honest, this timeout feels a little bit late. Like I know you're not just gonna give up at this stage, but when you're 12-5 down, what would you say in this moment, Mitch?
हर्ष भाई की स्ट्रीम लगा दें, हॉर्स भाई की स्ट्रीम पे देख लेते हैं सीधा। चालू हो गया वैसे हॉर्स भाई की जितनी वॉचिंग आ रही है उस हिसाब से समझ आ रहा है।
Per power.
नहीं हुआ।
By play.
हॉर्स भाई की स्ट्रीम चला देते हैं। बैन पड़ जाएगा।
Anyway, guys, we need to try and
कॉपीराइट पड़ जाएगा कॉपीराइट। हॉर्स भाई की स्ट्रीम चला दी तो।
We need to try and what?
Nothing. I was feeling inspired.
Oh, okay. What would Mini say? That's what we really need to think about. Because he might be the only person that can help them come back from this scenario. 12-5
क्या
down.
लगता है कोश महाराज भाई एक तो ओवरड्राइव भी है कोश महाराज भाई के पास।
Yeah, it is. He's a big
कोश
fan of
महाराज भाई के
everything.
फिर से दबोच ना ले किसी को दौड़ते दौड़ते जा तो रहे हैं।
Or are you just saying it's
स्मोक आएगा आया नहीं। ओ ब्लाइंड हो गया बेचारा वरना ले जाता। वो भी गया रियंस भी गया।
And now they're going to keep going. The A side
आप
looking too tempting, but the rotate's already in from Team Heretics. Wood is here, and they've seen Boo up top. They should decide to go back, and it looks like they've made the call.
अगर इसके बाद भी हारी तो फिर हद हो जाएगी। बेंजी जा तो रहा है आगे।
Again, though. Think about the last round, how much he was able to get with his pressure into middle.
अगर विंडो चेक
There's
नहीं
a
किया ना।
trap on the other side, but already being spotted out. Good awareness from Fangir, and they're going to try and pressure him now. No survival. I like this. More of a death ball. Moving together, using that Hunter's Fury to get them in. And while this time that C site will be firmly under their control, the remaining players don't really have the credits to gamble anything for this one. I almost wonder if it'd be worth Wood just doing the same. If he gets the orb, he can drop that operator over into the next round.
अबे एक हाई पे बैठा है एक लो पे बैठा है एक और ऊपर चला जा रहा है
a bit sad
that we
didn't
भी
get this
ऊपर
pause earlier because all gamers just came in with a very clear game plan. Stuck to it. Mid-round calls were good. Avoided the dangers. Dealt with mid as well. That flash coming out was perfect. They covered their bases, and I haven't seen them do that in this half so far. So yeah, I fully agree. Pause probably should have come in a little bit earlier, but hey, it might not be too late. 6 in a row. We've seen stranger things.
I haven't seen it.
Disappointing last season, but good opportunity for all gamers to at least build up some momentum going into that next map. Again, I do think that if they're running a comp like this, or even just an identity like this, Sens is going to be tough up against Heretics. You don't have nearly as much space to play with. You're not going to find lanes unprotected or with just one player there, and Heretics will almost always have a response to any aggression you're putting out. So I think that for all gamers, I at least want to see them look confident going into the next map.
Well, yeah, funnily enough, the last time they played Ascent in the qualifiers, they did run this comp. So yeah, it seems like this is their game plan across a few different maps. So I agree. I think especially getting warmed up into that attack side. Of course, the next map was chosen by Heretics, so they will get their choice of start. Whether that be the defense or the attack, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's going to be a few pieces missing in this round. Now bear in mind, Wood gets a single kill, that's tour de force, he can drop the operator. Maybe gives them a little bit more of a stance in this round, but I think it is going to be relatively difficult. But hey, if Shim's going to go jumping wide, even a disappearing app from Wu, and as said, if he wants now, he can give his teammate a gun. If he wants.
I don't know if you could hear that noise in the background, but I think that was Woot
गलती
shifting
से भी
into
garage
sixth gear.
जाने का किसी ने सोचा
The engine's running hot right now. 6 rounds in a row for all gamers. A man down already, but
तैयार बैठा है
this is the buy that
बिजली
should
मार
be
देगा
easy
सबके
to deal with. Woot, the danger can be
करंट मारता हुआ
avoided.
दौड़ेगा
And the rifle on Boo, look, they haven't even got the spike in their hands for the first minute
दिन डाल के रखी है
because
बे
they
लोग
know that there are dangers to be avoided. Now they come back in with
गलती से
direction,
कोच
and
महाराज के
again,
हाथ में
the
लग
call
गई
looks to be good at least for now. Exploring
नहीं
B,
जा रहे
hearing
हैं
the
डी
trap,
के बाहर
seeing no
बी
contact.
क्लियर तो
If
है
they get in
बट
there for the post
सब
plant,
आसपास ही
it should be most of the danger
रैप अराउंड हो
already
जाएगा
avoided.
गराज से सीधा तुरंत
I'm going to use the run it back just to make sure.
Worth being cautious.
कीरा भाई अकेले हैं वहाँ पे गराज देखने के लिए अरे
Just about going to be planted before
nice
he
shot,
fades away, and then winning
nice
back-to-back fights. Pressure once again seems to be on Woot to try and find something in this round, of course, with not handing over the gun to a teammate. He can have the tour de force for the next round, and well, they might not even be looking to play the next round at this point. 2 players spotted and slowly being surrounded. Everybody coming in from behind is a bit of a problem up until GRQ again.
Nice.
Another high impact round from him. The distance down to 5, but still a long, long way to go.
Yeah, great work. GRQ's definitely been waking up. I know coming into this half, you were saying, look, that first half can be tough. But this is going to be putting up the numbers, finding that impact.
वाले भी
And I think
promo
he
कर
very
रहे
much
हैं.
has. The flashes out on A long. Think about the
EWC
late
वाले भी
rotate that they
promo
went
कर
for,
रहे हैं.
avoiding the A
मैं
stack
भी
and
promo कर
hitting into
दूंगा.
mid. His flashes have
मिले
been
तो
finding
मुझे.
them picks or at least pushing players back every single time. And then he's there in the late round to put up those big numbers. Keeping this team alive. 5 in a row needed.
खड़ा हूँ जी हाँ वो खड़ा है.
And keep up this momentum.
वो पैर में दर्द हो रहा है मेरे.
Certainly no reason to doubt, but the rifles back out for Heretics, a convincing buy, and as you
खत्म
said,
करो
Woot
फिर मैं
with a
जीता
tour de
मैच
force online.
लेकिन
Oh, that's not the start they were looking for, though. Kushmaris being dropped.
खुश महाराज भाई फिर से मर गए.
Further aggression needed to almost just try and turn the tide. Look at the
ऊपर का
position
angle
that's
लगा
being
के
held by
बैठा है.
Kira as well. Up top, but it's Benji.
वुड के साथ भी वही होगा जो
To win
बेंजी
the
के साथ
fight,
हुआ.
Woot goes for the swing, and it does said that he
almost.
wasn't expecting anybody to be there,
ठीक है,
down to
3
just
HP
3
बचा है.
health. But that doesn't mean
But
he's
अगर
not
आप
going to
उसके
go back
बाद
for
भी
more,
एक को
not
भी ले
shying
गया ना
away
वो.
from the fight with the tour
उसको
de force
पता
for
नहीं है
3
3
players.
क्रॉस
We've already crossed the
GG हो
4th
सकता
player.
है,
He's
GG
going to
हो
go out
सकता
with a
है.
knife in hand.
एक को फिर
That's
भी
all
निकाल
too
दिया
easy.
वो.
But does he have
अब वो
any
वहाँ
idea
try
that they've
करेगा.
already crossed past? He does
हाँ,
now.
आवाज आई है.
Sliding past it. It's a headshot as well.
Free.
Bye-bye. Leaving just 3v3 and a post plant
Free fire.
for the attack inside.
Now, who's in position? Paranoia primed and ready. But it looks like that close right corner is the main danger. GRQ has shown up the last couple rounds when they're put under pressure in these moments. The number's even for now. Great shots from by. GRQ there as well. And Kira to close, puts them up to 8. All gamers not letting this one
गोली
slip.
ऐसे जा रही थी और ऐसे आ रही
Can
थी.
I climb back?
तो ये पहले लगी.
Starting to look
ये
more and
आते थे
more
ऐसे
likely.
लगी. ओके.
And I wonder when the moment that we
Something
see a
else.
pause on the other side. Obviously, we know the head coach for Heretics is currently not here, but Weber is a man of many words, so I don't think they'll have to worry too much about having conversations with a
Yeah,
coach
अभी
because
भाई
both of
क्या
those have been
time
sort
out
of
काम
working
किया.
together
5
for
राउंड
quite
थे वो
some
लोग.
time, but clearly
3 राउंड
not
निकाले
feeling
हैं.
that pressure just
रूम
yet.
में भी चौथा भी
3
निकालेंगे.
rounds in a
आराम
row
से इनके पास
of 7 that were
बाय
needed.
नहीं है. सामने वाले के पास
Koshmaris
full
is
buy.
back on his primary weapon though, so a good opportunity for him to
Oh,
steal the
दोनों
round away,
shot waste
and Mitch to be
नहीं.
very excited about it.
तब तक मेरे को लग रहा है जी का दूसरा मैच भी खत्म हो जाएगा.
Succeed. Nothing brings me more joy
I'm glad to hear it.
for Heretics. This shouldn't be the round, but that's often when it is. Pistols in hand. Good molly at least going to force those players out into the open. Danger avoided. And GRQ, man. That's a big pickup, a 4K, and it's more than just a flashy play. Ult is online now for the next round. This is starting to look very dangerous. And Tom, I do think Heretics probably want to call a timeout pretty damn soon. As you said, Weber, a man of many words. We have seen that. Listen, if you've been around him in a hotel lobby, and this is somewhere that I'm expecting to see a turnaround from Heretics. But what also scares me is that the last pause from All Gamers took them from a messy, disorganized team in that half to a pretty clean one, who's now putting up round after round. And looking like they have an identity again.
I'll be honest, I might be going from looking like an egg to
एक
having
भी
egg
बार
on
कोशमाराज
my
से
face
नहीं
because
मरे
I
जो
said at
चीज हो रही
12-5
थी.
that pause was way too late.
Then वुड से भी बहुत कम मरे. Like एक ही बार
4
मरे
rounds in a row,
वो सो मरा
looking
सुस्तो
cleaner
हुआ
and
मरा.
cleaner as they go, and also now they have ultimates to play with alongside it. So clearly Heretics are feeling the pressure.
वही तो फंसा तो ये भी मैच है. ओह जी का भी चालू हो गया.
I can teach you code in Python in just 30 days, even if you've never written a single
कोड सिखा रहा है पाइथन में.
And then just buy the op straight away, because why not? It was even more
Let's
busted
go,
back then than it is now.
पिछली बार जी ने पहला राउंड निकाला था.
Quite happy with how that
तो
went for them.
MIBR
Nice
जीते.
little easy 2K for
इस बार
Verno.
MIBR ने
Keep
पहला
up
राउंड
this head,
निकाला
go
है.
into the
क्या
C
मतलब
side.
जी जीतेगी.
Not dealt with.
Let's
Sitting on
go.
the back lines.
जी
Confirmed by
उदो
Aspas, but that's
ये
not
क्या
too
बात.
bad from Udatan.
Let's go.
Dumping down that
GE.
relay bolt, cutting up this push for MIBR.
अरे
and they
और
cannot
मार
get
दिया
the
ना.
clean
ओ
execution they were looking for through the
nice
cage.
one
Up
pass
the dart
man.
as well as a grab net, giving MIBR
तेरा उदो
serious
मर गया
pause for
लेकिन.
thought here. They haven't pivoted away just yet.
Autumn
Drone going forward.
क्रिस्टल
Looking for
दो
Autumn, and they
खेल
have
रहे
confirmed that
हैं.
he's
इससे
sitting
ये
in the corner.
सुगर
Down goes
एजेंट
the deadlock wall. That's going to slow this down a little bit more.
जी का
Aspas
जीजे
going
भाई.
forward.
क्रिस्टल
Straight
गलत
from the
एजेंट
hit
खेल
with the
रहा है.
Marshall, cleaning out all of this C site, and now MIBR are looking a little bit more comfortable.
2v3.
Let's go.
They're coming
MIBR.
out through garage, but it's instantly going to get spammed down by
MIBR वो भी निकाल लेगी
Verno.
मैं बता रहा हूँ
Really
बोनस भी निकाल लेगी
decisive at the end there, but that was a little bit scary at the beginning for
एकदम
MIBR.
टाइम
I
पे
mean,
जिम जाऊंगा मैं
Zekin getting into that
6 पे मैं
site,
जिम निकाल
not
लूंगा
shooting the player that is not looking at him,
बात
and
होगी थी मेरी
instantly refracting back. Little bit scary for them.
तो मैंने बोल दिया था
But I think for MIBR,
मैं
obviously,
MIBR
they're
जीत
still
जाऊं
going to be
या
happy with the
जीत जाऊं
outcome
लेकिन
of
जीत
this
जाऊं
round. They're going to be on that bonus for the third round. These fights were so chaotic. I think GE, they're really
कल
trying to
चौके
be
का
active,
स्ट्रीम
really
करना
trying to make
पड़ेगा
sure that they're
सुबह
pushing and trading as quick as possible. The fast floods are there. But it's going to be interesting how they play out this round. Gun round for the side of GE.
Harvey having a look to see what his Sova Dart can fashion for him. He does get scanned by MIBR.
ये
So
राउंड बता
rotation
देगा
comes back across
क्या
from
होने वाला
GE.
है
Who have spread out that sentinel
ये राउंड
utility
भी
around the
हारे
map. It's
तो
something
फिर
that they
उसके बाद तो
love
I
to
don't
do.
think
You'll see a
कुछ
lot more of
होगा
that. A bit of a sentinel duel over on garage side. Drone goes looking for some information, but it's immediate paranoia
drone
dive
जाओ
into
my
the
god
site there from
बचाया बे
Zekin. Aspas
Ludo
finding
बचाया
one before
बेचारे
the
को
refract comes through. Zekin will get the deck, and MIBR very much slowing this
आसपास में
one
कहाँ मारा
down. Dex caught, pulling the
Still
pin
nice
out from Crystal's scrap net there. Drone confirming where
Ludo
Yuditan is
को
standing. This is
आसपास
so
है अगर आसपास से
tentative
उसको
for
मार दिया ना
MIBR.
अभी
Not knowing when to
God
make their move, but that's where
आसपास
Aspas and Verno just
आसपास भी
completely demolish everyone on the
Clearly
site.
आसपास
And
भी
Crystal, a little late to the party, has a big 1v3 to attempt.
Those are the types of things that I worry about for GE. The 4K
आसपास
for
clear
Aspas to
दिखते
close
हैं
out the round.
कोई गिर के मारा
But
क्या
every single time, it feels like they're
शायद
in
कोई गिर के
somewhat of
मारा
a good position, getting that pick onto Tex on the extremity. They still
क्या हुआ
struggle when it gets back
ईयरफोन नहीं चल
into
रहा लो
sight, when they're trying to get those
टेक
trades, when
पॉज
they're
टेक
trying to
पॉज
path
नहीं
into the
चल रहा
site.
चल रहा
They constantly
बच
take
गया
these
टेक
ones or
पॉज
put
बच गया
themselves in these positions where they're
मुझे लगा अभी
so
फंस जाएगा
isolated
टेक
and they
पॉज
cannot trade. But of course, when you're playing against Aspas, when you're playing against Zekin, you just have to be so much quicker and so much more understanding with these things because they are playing at a pace that really throws you off.
Just waiting out a lot of that Senti utility, taking their time to crack on into the sites. You can't rush yourself. There's so many sensors, so many trips to deal with. That's very cheeky, using the dark cover to
पैसा
hide
बाय
from the
नहीं है
recon.
जी के
Yuditan
पास ये
on the
राउंड तो
walkout
गया
middle,
ही
but the sheriffs are not
अब
really
अगर इसके बाद
connecting
भी फोर्थ राउंड के बाद अगर टाइम आउट किया
the
है ना
ones of these
तो फिर
vicinities.
जीजी है
MIBR now pivoting
उनका
back
जो
towards
मोमेंटम है ना
A, and that's
MIBR
where
का
Harvey had the info
कुछ
line
नहीं कर
for a
पाएंगे
moment,
लोग
but punished now by Aspas.
Not looking too good. 3-0. MIBR winning that bonus round just with the sheer force of them going quick and a punish onto Javi. 3 of these players from GE, though, they understand what's going on. They're stacked onto this site. They've gambled, and it is a good gamble, but it's just the fact that they need to be in these tradable positions. They need to get their ones here because the flank is also on the way. Udo getting that first pick onto Aspas. The paranoia coming in, but in a weird spot, making Udo get 2. Verno trying to get that trade and does end up getting it. And now all of a sudden, 3v3 here. Patman getting dropped by Tex. Crystal with a beautiful shot onto Tex. Now running towards shore, trying to pick up that weapon. Does get the fountain.
Flank off of Crystal, dealt with by Verno. The flank coming in from Autumn. He's actually got a decent timing to be attempting this clutch. Uncovered on the side, but a little bit too late there from Autumn. The model as Verno gets off of that spike plant. Cannot be calibrated on. Always a little bit annoying with some of the animations. Can't quite get the headshot where it's needed, and that's completely punished there by MIBR, despite some heroics on the Sheriffs from Global.
We talked about star players on MIBR, and it feels like every single player has their standout moments so far in this series, constantly going for 3. And it's just crazy how easy it seems sometimes for winning out these frags. GE, that was a close round. It was a little bit expensive for them, but an op on Aspas.
I mean, 100% it was a close round, but like how many close rounds did you have on Lotus?
True.
Really struggled to win any of them. Quickest execute, Hunter's Fury to back it up, giving a lot of problems for Yuditan. The Sova Darts getting multiple players.
Wow.
And it's a complete decimation of the C side. MIBR changing up the pace after a lot of slower rounds, really waiting out GE and waiting for mistakes. This time it's pedal to the metal straight into C, and it works a treat.
No pop execute. Instead, they just full execute.
कौन
with
बोलेगा
that
ये टीम
wheelie out.
मास्टर्स
It
गई
was
थी
really
इतना अच्छा
beautiful.
खेल
Not a
के गई
single
थी
spot on site was left uncovered. And again, the
Clearly
sheer
भाई
force
thrusting
of the movement coming in from Zekin and Aspas to get into that site so quick. The util usage, the paranoia, the dart, everything just lined up beautifully. And GE, man, they did not stand a chance. Look at those X's, 4 on that C site, 3 of them towards spawn.
I'll tell you one thing, though. There is no way you're getting into tower here. Double sensors. Surely that doesn't work out for MIBR. Dealing with both of them in just an instant. That is just perfection.
Nice.
Even both of the sensors were both checked perfectly by
ALT
MIBR with the
क्या
dart
बोल
to follow up. They really just have not put a toe out of line since this series kicked off.
You really thought that he could hold that.
Give
That's
me a little
crazy.
bit of cope. Can I at least save a Vandal in tower for the next round? Anything.
ये लो अगर देखो
Anything indeed.
इसके
Well,
बाद
they
वाला
do
जो
have 2
राउंड
ults
है
online.
उससे
The
पहले नहीं है
double
तो
ult, they
हो
have
सकता
the
है 13-0
neon
भी
ult.
हो
They
गया
could go for something fast.
Can we at least kill Verno?
They need
10
it.
and 0 is insane.
That's kind of too
That's
much.
my IGL right there.
Yeah, okay.
6-0 ये हारे ठीक है उसके बाद गन्स आएंगी वो अगर गलती से हारे तो 7-0 फिर गन नहीं 8-0 फिर गन नहीं 9-0
Repeat that. Dash up into the site. Out comes the overdrive from Udatan and hand with Pat giving MIBR some serious problems. But that is pretty impressive for Mazzino to come up with 2, given that he's hit entirely by the relay
एक स्टन में मारा है then से 2 से को मारा है
Global Esports now 2-on-4 in this retake, trying to come in from A-Link, dodging that drone, dodging the paranoia, but all of that is just buying more time for the spike and Aspas to slide onto the perfect line. Needs a trade back from Harvey and almost a shot through the wall onto Verno there. But with the one-way coming out and a perfect little triangle crossfire, it's not even needed. Verno's just out in the open to get it done for MIBR. I mean, you can't blame the man for his confidence right now. I still don't think he's even died yet.
I'm really questioning the choices from GE here on this round. Using 2 ults to try to turn it around, the Soval and the Neon ult, but it's just not working out after that Neon has dropped, getting scanned for so long by the dart. Mazzino full stun, still manages to get the pick on Neon. It's just not looking too hot. Javi,
अगर ये राउंड में
knowing
अगर
that and still
टाइम आउट
using his
नहीं आ
ult,
रहा
it's
है
a
ना
little bit scary because
अगर
now
टाइम
you're
आउट
kind of
नहीं आ रहा
losing some sort of trap
नहीं
play
लिया
potential that you have here. But the double senti
बिना
comp
कोचिंग स्टाफ के
on
खेल रहे हो
defense,
क्या
they
अगर
really need to
इस हाल
win
के बाद
some of
अगर
these
टाइम
rounds
आउट नहीं
because
आ
it's
रहा है या
so
फिर पहले
much
से हार
harder
मान के
on that
बैठे हो
attack side with this kind of comp. And now all these players towards that A lobby. The gun is going to get spotted from Tex. That operator finally coming online for GE. And they're falling back into sight.
Drone confirms that there's more players here for MIBR and a warning shot there onto Aspas. Flips the leg.
बहुत गलत है ये अगर
Finding some
इतने के
early
बाद
success
भी
here with this
मोमेंटम ब्रेक नहीं
operator,
कर
and
रहे
that's enough
टाइम आउट
bravado to
लेके
kind of push MIBR away to other avenues.
Grouped up back towards mid here for MIBR. They're aware of the op. The drone still online for Verno though.
सी पे अकेला
Walking towards that C garage, gonna spot the Cypher setup. They're gonna know this is the weakest site. Trying to go for a C split here. Mazzino just being annoying, putting pressure towards that B, finding out where that operator is. And now just chilling outside of B with that spike.
Shot from Udatan. Lapse of focus for just a moment. MIBR waiting for a mistake, which not going to receive.
ये राउंड मेरे को लग नहीं रहा
dash on in for Aspas, who was traded out by Putman.
आसपास
Once
मारा
again, the
लेकिन
plant being
अभी भी है
attempted
बेट
by
टीवी हो रहा है
Mazzino.
ना
Out
हो
comes the
ये अगर
annihilation. Very much
एनालिसिस में
looking
फंसा
for a pick here. I'm not
ओ
sure if it
माय
even
गॉड
connected.
उसमें
Verno
भी
just
नहीं
continues
कनेक्ट
to
हुआ
come up with the goods until
एजेंट भी का
Putman is able to come in towards that B site.
Reckon
Down to a 2-on-2 now. Flank coming out for Autumn, who was waiting a long time over on C-Long. Finally finds his man. Zekken last alive inside of that site.
निकला एक राउंड आया
Crystal does a good job clearing it out. Finally around here for GE on this defensive side. See how many more they can start to put together here, because this has not been the start that they were looking for.
Back on the board, and the main reason is it's on the back of that operator for Udo, trying to get one of those picks, trying to go aggressive, get the line, and just punish them for playing that slow style that they've been playing for majority of the game. The walk up, the pop executes, going off of info. I think this was all really nice from MIBR, trying to punish that operator, and Mazzino TPing out in time, but the retake was just too good. This is one of those times where you see them going in together on the side of GE, and you're like, finally, this makes sense. The trades are there, the frags are finally there, and all of a sudden, back on the board. They're gonna spot that Sova though with that drone, but the way they is out, that dart is coming down. Javi actually gets a spam kill onto Aspas through the neon wall. Zekken trade onto Crystal, and all of a sudden, Mazzino, he's TP'd into heaven. They're trying to get this A crunch down, but there's 3 players on site.
Zekken up inside of the dark cover. Harvey's finally been able to deal with the fox among the hen house, but Tex and Verno just wiping that side. Unfortunately, another round that kind of slips through the fingers of GE here. Autumn now tasked with
किसी
yet
का ही नहीं
another
लग रहा,
retake.
crystal का ही लग रहा था
Playing
पहले
over
ना,
towards
बस
that
उसके
C
बाद
site
मेरे
time
को
and
नहीं
time
लग
again.
रहा
At
था
least
कहीं
has the
लगा
neural
भी है.
theft to work with, but I'm not sure he has anyone to really use it on. Both of the players are inside of A long and Heaven respectively, so that's not really going to give him any information necessarily. Upshot missed there by Tex. That's enough to convince Autumn to not try to attempt this retake and just hold on to his Vandal and armor. An immediate reply here for MIBR is going to put significant pressure on GE's economy now.
MIBR just making so much pressure on so many different angles for GE that it's getting hard for them to hold it down. Obviously, the neutral usage from Verno as well, absolutely phenomenal. Using that dart when they know that they're about to fight that A main, that A long. And just being annoying, and the shock darts get that pick onto the player close right in that off angle in the corner. Just so many small things that add up here. Text with the nasty shot through the wall while he's still running. It's just these small, insane micro things that are punishing GE. I actually feel like that round GE had a really good read. Fighting that A long, fighting the A lobby, punishing anyone that was going way too fast. Using the neon wall to back off. They heard the Mazzino wall.
चलो टेक पॉज आएगा इनका पॉज आया.
It just fell apart at the end.
ध्यान नहीं दिया मैंने.
Everything just
पॉज आएगा इनका पॉज आया.
Coin, and when they know that they're about to get so
जी तो क्यों ही पॉज लेगी.
Facts.
That's the firepower though for me.
मेरे को एक चीज देखनी है अगर
some degree.
EG
MIBR looking like the sharper team coming into this series.
अड़क गया थोड़ा सा अड़क गया. पीसी अटक गया. इंटरनेट तो सही आ रहा है.
I don't think anyone can argue with that. We all know that the ceiling of some of these players on GE, but the consistency, unfortunately, is another story.
शीशा की स्ट्रीम में चल जाए जल्दी से दिक्कत हो जाएगी. शीशा की ऑटोमेटेड स्ट्राइक आ जाती है.
Of release, execute, and you have the more. If you lose this map,
plan this as some sort of map.
11-12 के बाद जीती है क्या हेरेटिक्स?
Pressure better. Now take.
Already done. 13 to 11. They caught up at the finish line and fell on the final hurdle.
12-5 था. 12-5 था. And then timeout आया. Then 11 तक बात पहुंच गई.
There, Mazzino is all over here, and Verno. 15
round
spotting out the barrel of the gun for Autumn, not the player you'd want to be peeking here. Crystal on the other side of things, a lot less to work with. And looking like MIBR going to walk away with yet another attacking side round. Autumn peeking out to see if he can find anything. And honestly, if Mazzino didn't get it done, Verno was ready to peek. That's kind of unnecessary. Come on, guys. Can't do the guy from back home like that.
8-1. 10.
Unfortunate.
10 to half भी
Dude, the
जाना मुश्किल है.
reaction
11
timing
half
on these guys right now is insane
attacking.
too. It feels like they're so ready for every single fight. The crosshair placement's absolutely there. The mechanics are just so good. Granted, it was a little bit of a weird buy round, a low buy, just trying to get something to support around that rifle that they saved that last round, but it's just not looking good.
Yeah.
Gun round here.
I mean, this will be a bit of cathartic one. I remember sitting in a cafe in Seoul and watching MIBR play NRG at the end of kickoff on this map. This is more the scoreline that they probably would have had in mind back then. So this might be a little bit of trauma redemption, I guess you could say, for MIBR. Quick split into C. Autumn going to get tested. Not something that has been happening too much so far this game. Refract back, and actually, the flood in is starting to go the way of GE. Mazzino dealt with trying to dive through the cages. Downtown, though, and Tex on the backlines is starting to turn this one around. Out comes the neural theft. Udatan under pressure. Playing inside of his fast lane, trying to buy time for Crystal to get involved here.
बहुत unlucky हो रहा है जी.
2v2. Spike is down on the site. Trying to get that from Plat. Scary fight for Tex to take because he does end up losing it. Verno making so much noise going towards that garage. They know now where he's positioned, and the spike is still down. This is almost unwinnable. And Udo getting that final pick onto Verno. Now that was a really good round from GE. The super fast flood into the Cypher util. Cypher just staying alive for so long, playing together, making sure that they're in those crossfires when they are coming out of that spawn smoke. Just punishing that fast dashing.
I mean, that's what GE are good at on this map, honestly. That's a little bit more like it. The problem is I'm a little bit worried they've dug themselves quite a big hole on this defense. At a minimum, need 4 rounds out of this half, so
especially with their comp.
Back to back, yeah. It gets a lot harder once you move over onto that attacking side, that's for sure. So we'll see if they can try to fashion themselves a little bit more magic. Autumn once again tucking himself in nicely towards that C site. Has a little bit of help from the rotation of Udo-chan. Crystal pulls out the grab net. Birdo on the other side of things. Does go at least 1-1 on C, and we get fights on both sides of things. MIBR just taking space where it's given, and they've found themselves at least 3 picks here. Really, the world is their oyster from here on out.
It's actually crazy how quick that was, too. 4 players just grouping up here towards that A-long. I say that, but Javi gets the pick onto Mazina. They know that he's sitting here, speeding up towards this B site. Autumn is rotating in.
Autumn already पहुंच गया है.
Doesn't get a pick. Gets so much damage down. The Sova ult not gonna catch anymore.
Sova
Autumn getting
मारते
one, but not before he gets dropped by Zekin and Javi in this 1v2. But both players are lit.
Yeah, time for a vintage Javi clutch. If ever you needed one, GE desperately need rounds on this defensive side. Nice open plant for Verno. Meets up with Zekin over towards the bottom side of C long there. The shocks coming out, the MIBR lads will be very well aware of where Harvey is coming from over here on spawn side. Hasn't tapped the spike yet. Drone to work with, but not really the kind of clear path for that to be used at this point. Out comes the shock. Clears out the close corner, but neither of MIBR are playing there. Drone in response for Verno to confirm that unfortunately Harvey is not on the spike yet, and time is really starting to tick at this point. Trying to get the half. Trying to bait out the peak from MIBR, but they are being very patient with this one. Recon dart to follow up. Verno dealt with, but unfortunately, I think if the half doesn't come out, it's going to be done, and Zekin is the one to close it for MIBR. A really nicely played 2-on-1 there.
The scoreline is looking awfully familiar here. 9-2.
11
One more round left.
30-0 map.
This is so scary for GE. I mean, the double senti, it's not working out for them. They're not able to hold on to these sites. They're getting picked off so easily by MIBR. They're finding these really good timings. They're really good aggressive picks here.
आसपास के पास जेट है and then उसके पास वेले है.
Especially with the momentum
कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा
last game, and now looking like a fast C split here. Sorry, C execute here on the side of MIBR.
Udo-chan up over the top is Aspas, well aware that the Neon is sitting inside of the cage. Mazino's made it into the site, and they are very tentative trying to clear out this Bucky. That's great patience for MIBR. Patman trying to make a heroic play straight through the dark cover. Out comes the Annihilation, immediately sniped out by Aspas. And it's just Harvey inside of Garage. He's got a lot to fix up here. It's a 1-on-5, but I don't even think that this man is going to be good for it, quite honestly. Glass Cannon Guardian is not the tool for the job, and Mazzino with a big 3k TP into the back of the site. It's another 10-2, double digits in the opening half. And look, honestly, it's just continuing to get sadder here for the Pacific fans, myself included.
19-3 for Verno. He's only died 3 times.
When you said 19-3, I thought you were referring to the overall round tally so far in this series.
No.
It's close to that. It's close,
It feels like it.
That's what I thought you were saying. It's so painful. It's actually so painful.
You guys didn't believe me earlier when I said MIBR could win the whole thing, but with the form that they're in right now, I think, yes, GE, they're struggling a little bit, but it's so many of these close rounds that just show you that the 1v1s are there, the 2v2s are there, everyone is able to get their own. And the calls, too, have been really good. I'm really, really surprised by their strat book, by the playbook, how deep it is, and the way that MIBR is still avoiding and calling. Clearly, they have a lot more things that they want to call, but they're avoiding using it, because why would you when just executes are working out right now?
I mean, especially into double senti, the Waylay Jet is really doing wonders here for MIBR. They're able to avoid a lot of the sonic sensors, a lot of the trips in the setup by just good pathing in on the entry.
वो जो स्टेज 1 में हमने सोचा था ना टीम बनी थी एकदम खतरनाक ही खेलेंगे ये लोग, वो अब जाके खेल रहे हैं.
KRX take on this GE squad earlier on in Pacific. They were able to use Jet really, really well to just avoid all of the double senti util, and I think you see MIBR do the exact same thing here to GE, unfortunately.
This is wild.
चलो 2 राउंड और एक मैच का चलते हैं हम
but I didn't think it was going to be this dominant.
अगर पिस्टल निकल गई तो खत्म हो जाएगा.
You know, That's the one good thing that we get out of this, okay? And all the Americas fans.
Listen, this is the time for you to convert a little bit, you know? Like, jump on the MIBR train with me.
Need a green card.
Oh, this is rough. I think for GE, like, let's just say there's a little bit of cope here. A tiny bit of cope. They win out pistol.
Yeah.
They don't throw that
मैच इतना बुरा हाल था जी का, इसके बाद भी जी ने एक टाइम आउट नहीं लिया.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could do it.
Then we're 6 rounds behind.
Listen, MIBR likes to push a lot, and maybe with the double senti they can prevent that. But they're going for this fast C split here. Ospas is going to be on the site with Zekin. Tex hears all this information. Zekin going for his with that Sheriff, not connecting. Ospas manages to get one. Zekin gets another, but 2 trades coming in. Autumn and Udo. Zekin gets a second kill onto Udo, and 3v2. His team is coming in. They're trying to flood out onto site together. That shot might do enough damage. They're so lit, picking off onto Autumn, and obviously V2 is not gonna win it out. Zeno with that final kill. And Verno, man, these shocks. He's gotten like 3 this game already.
Yeah, he's good. We know. It's been an excellent game for Verno.
So he's like, what, 20-3 now?
20-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty good on the Sova. Not gonna lie. Rest of MIBR giving him a lot of help as well. I think both the Jet and the Waylay getting a lot of value fighting from backside with the Sheriffs here. I think GE, you could see right from where they kind of get halted up in Garage for a moment, they are very kind of, I wouldn't say afraid, but just taking a little bit of time to get into that C site, unfortunately. And that's where the Sheriffs are having a lot of fun, picking them as they head on their way in. Speaking of picking GE as they head in, this time less success for Aspas. Forced away for the time being. It very much seems like GE want to pick up the pace, but Mazzino's spamming away on his Spectre. Takes a lot of damage off the hero TP up the top. Should get checked here by Uditan, but he's got just not enough HP, unfortunately. And that is a double once again from the Omen. Mazzino just continues to conjure magic for MIBR, and Autumn was kind of waiting in the back of the site. All he could do was trade out the Omen before Verno brings him up 12-2 for MIBR. I think this might be back-to-back 13-2s.
The fact that Mazzino's just allowed to TP back into site, get those picks, no trade on board.
They tried to trade him, but Uditan had like 10 HP because they took about 300 damage getting into B. Unfortunately. So that's how it be. That's how it be here.
That's how it be. This was kind of nasty. We were talking about Mazzino just being so good, especially with his impact frags. But this round, you can tell he's just kind of styling on them. And now, 12-2. Like you said, we might see that same scoreline.
Fracked active for second. Creeping up on the line.
Force by किया था ना, कहाँ से guns होंगे? चलो GG है, bonus निकाल
लेंगे. To get rougher for GE. Drone will confirm that Crystal is in this neck of the woods, so MIBR not even really feeling pressured enough to rotate. Still just kind of sitting in a 2-1-2 here, because you can definitely trust Zekin and Verno to probably get the rest of this round done themselves, or very there nearabouts.
Grouped up, A-long, Crystal alone towards short. The smoke's going to come in. The actual pick is going to come in from Javi as well. That Guardian, beautiful shot. Verno now left alone towards this short. He is going to get slowly crunched. Autumn, Crystal trying to work it up together. They get that pick, and now all of a sudden it's flipped. 3v4. They've gained that numbers advantage. Getting that spike down as well. Holding into this post plant. They just need to be careful here, because these are the kinds of rounds that MIBR have been known to flip over.
Yeah, it's going to be hard though against double senti. Like the double pick. Great spacing and entries in from GE. I give MIBR a lot of trouble getting back in. The barrier, as well as the sonic sensor. You've got the follow-up grab net, even if they are able to make it a little bit deeper into the site. Hits all 3 players for MIBR. And Autumn capitalizing. Crystal to follow up. And Aspas finally pulls the grab net out. But I think he's better off just saving this Vandal at this point.
Really well played here by GE. They saw the opportunity and they took it. Verno being left alone, knowing he couldn't do anything, but the crunch timings are still there. It's good to see that they're keeping a lot of those protocols. They're not going, overextending, playing too needy. Like, they need to get those picks, still taking their time and making sure they're doing it with reason. GE now It's so hard when you're in this position because you have to snowball. You have to snowball the economy. You have to snowball these ults. It's going to be so much harder too with this double Senti comp, Crystal and Autumn, Cypher and Deadlock. It's almost impossible. The good thing is they can get so much information with those trips, with holding it all the way back. It's going to be a little bit of a rough one because MIBR is actually going to face them for an A lobby fight.
Vuitton having a little bit of a think about taking that, but the utility quickly pushing GE back away. They'll allow MIBR to have control of lobby, and they're going to start to speed up into C now. This is where Tex, fantastic on the opening map on the Cypher. Quite happy to play retake in from spawn side. There's a juicy little kill trip there, but that's dealt with by Harvey Shock Dart.
These players taking sight with a vengeance. That wall is going to go down. Really annoying to deal with, like you mentioned earlier. And this post plant, they're trying to keep this site. They have the trip on the flank. They don't need to worry about it unless there's an omen. And now MIBR in this 5v5 retake. It's really hard, especially when these players have so much site control. But Autumn playing towards that back site. The TP comes in. Patman getting one, but Mazzino, Verno, and Osmos are so good at clearing Crystal. Left in a 1v3. And no win for him. Mazzino with the final pick of the game in a 12-3
Thank you so much for watching.
for MIBR.
MIBR की जीत के साथ मैं भी चलता हूँ. Bye bye.
MIBR
Thank you so much for
coming
watching.
into EWC
मिलते हैं अगले stream
2026
पे.
with a vengeance. You can see
या तो कल
exactly
मिलेंगे
why they were able to
छोकरे
run
के
over
साथ
the
या फिर हम
Americas qualifier.
मेरा वीडियो पहले आ जाएगा.
Very well
Let's see
for
क्या आता है.
themselves, and
So thank you so much for watching. Bye. कैसे बंद करते हैं? मैं स्ट्रीम बंद कर पा रहा हूँ.